with the training that you've had in your background, you can pick up clues about a person without them realizing that you may know more about them than they want you to know.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
As a cultural anthropologist, my job is to be the professional stranger, to step into an environment or community, observe them, be a participant observer of this organization or this group or this society, totally separate from my own. My area were the Bedouins of southern Iran, for example, or the spiritualists in New Orleans, and to come into this community and look at them and then write scientific papers communicating their culture to an American audience.
The word mesmerize
Comes from Dr. Mesmer, who used hypnosis like Rasputin did, to try and help people medically. And so that's something that's come into our consciousness from this man, mesmerized, Dr. Mesmer.
It's a great word.
Do we have time for me to show you another piece of magic?
I'm not sure. Let me check with Ginge. Yes, all right. We've gotten the go-ahead.
All right, we have 2 spoons here. They're solid, they're metal. I'll hand them to you.
Yeah, these are not the plastic spoons. These are metal spoons.
They're playable. They nest together.
Yep.
You can see that they align almost perfectly.
Yes, they're from the same silverware drawer.
I was in silverware drawer. So what I'm going to have you do is just place one hand on top of mine, one hand below.
All right.
Focus on the spoon there. Imagine it bending. All right.
I'm imagining the spoon is bent. I have my eyes closed.
Good. Now, are we putting any pressure on this spoon at all?
I have a little bit of pressure on your hand, but you're holding onto the spoon, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
Feel around. Make sure there's no
May I?
pressure on the spoon. Yes,
Okay.
please. Make sure there's no pressure on the spoon at all.
I feel the
Just
round
follow
part
focus.
between
Good.
your hand. I don't see where the handle is.
Okay,
Oh, there it is.
down there, right
okay.
up the edge.
All right. Mhm.
Okay, concentrate on that. There's no pressure on this spoon. But
Very good.
hold on. It's going to start to move and twist. Yeah, open your eyes. Raise your hand. Take a look. There's a slight bend there. Now,
That is not a slight bend, my friend. That's about 45 degrees right
now
there.
we're going to take it a little further. Here, just place one finger right here.
Okay.
And rub
This
back
is
and
where
forth.
the spoon, where the round part of the spoon meets the handle.
Right. We're right on the neck of the spoon. Rub
Yep.
back and forth. Rub back and forth with this finger right
Okay.
here. Watch back here. Describe what you see happening.
The handle is going even higher.
It's going to start curling up.
Yeah.
Are you putting enough pressure to actually
No,
bend
I'm just
that
rubbing
metal?
back and forth.
Concentrate.
Okay.
Now, in the end, you're going to get to keep this spoon to see that
Oh,
it's not
thanks.
sort of funny metal at all.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people think that I actually put pressure on it and bend it.
Yes.
But I'm not even going to touch it. Watch. I'm not going to touch the top, but it's going to bend right here. Ready?
Yes.
Describe what you're seeing. 3, 2, 1.
The spoon is bending even further down. It's bent with no human contact. Yeah, we now have almost like a U shape.
Now, the most difficult thing, of course, is
Now he's bending it. He's physically bending
The
it.
most difficult thing, of course, is straightening it out so we don't get thrown out of the performance venue.
Yeah.
Now, it's completely straight up and down.
All right.
You saw this in the Matrix and the X-Men. It's completely healed spoon, a brand new spoon.
He's blowing on
in
it.
the X-Men and the Matrix.
He's got his hand going around the spoon.
They said there
It
is
looks
no
like it's
spoon.
turning, but he's twisting it. The spoon is twisting without him applying any physical force to it whatsoever. It's now done a 360.
The metal is absolutely twisted in a 360 degree.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this to you. You can't find anyone on Earth who can untwist that.
I wouldn't even try, except what's Uri Geller up to these days?
Well, he's doing this Phenomena show on around the world. He's spending a lot of time on TV. Just finished in Istanbul, I think. I know, Uri.
Wow. Mentalist Paul Draper, our guest. If you're just joining us, you missed it as Paul did spoon bending here in the radio studio.
That's right.
And I was just commenting, we started with the 2 spoons. The one that was untwisted feels light, like a spoon you might expect. But this one that's twisted is heavier.
Absolutely. That's a comment I have a lot of people make to me. Some because they believe that through the mental force that the molecules have become tenser, tighter, stronger, and thus heavier. I'm not sure what causes that, but I have had a lot of people say that to
If
me.
we were to put them on a scale, would they weigh the same?
I've never done that, but I have had a lot of people say that after the twisting, the bending, the turning, after the magical moment, it's substantially heavier. A little spoon bending, a little mind reading.
I'm scared. I don't know where to go from here, Paul.
Well, after listening to Magic to Do, that was Man of La Mancha's Dream the Impossible Dream.
That's what happened.
What a fun song that is. We have to dream that impossible dream. That's actually when I first moved to Vegas, and I after I left the university, I decided that I wanted to move into the entertainment world. And the first thing I did was audition for Man of La Mancha out at Spring Mountain Ranch here in town, and that was a
Super Summer Theater
Super
is a
Summer
wonderful
Theater.
organization.
And that's a show that I'm cast in all the time, playing a variety of different roles. Is Man of La Mancha, Dream the Impossible Dream. I just love that show.
Well, if you were to go to your website, mentalmysteries.com, and see a photograph, I think people would say, yeah,
I remember him.
I see him.
I even start my show, my mind reading show, and this is a lot of mind reader magicians, mentalists say that this is wrong to do, but I open my show with a song from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and the Linking Rings.
We'll have to take our son because he is all Willy Wonka.
Well, Willy Wonka is this wonderful character, isn't he?
Oh.
Because he's an individual who says, I have collected these wonders of the world, and I've brought them here, and now I'm going to share them with you. And that's a character that I really, really like to touch upon in my show.
Do you prefer Gene Wilder or Johnny Depp?
Gene Wilder, absolutely, absolutely. Johnny Depp was too Michael Jackson for me. Gene Wilder was charming, intelligent, but frightening.
Yeah. Wow, you put that very well. Is it a children's show or is it not a children's show?
It's a problem. There's nothing foul in my show, nor dirty, nor offensive to children, but children, children don't grasp mind reading in the same way adults do because there isn't a lot of visual elements.
Well, and there may be fear.
And there may be a little fear. And an adult can look at what's going on here and say, maybe. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could actually see in a distance, if we could touch someone across the way? One of the pieces that I do in the show is have two people sitting side by side, and both of them shut their eyes. I tap one person on the shoulder, and both of them feel the tap. And both of them can say where the tap was. I touch someone on the arm, and both of them can feel the touch.
Ginger, is this guy legit?
Well, you can come see the show. I'll also be doing a seance in New York, right across from Madison Square Gardens, coming on Halloween night, if anybody's in New York. And it's going to be hosted by Larry Ratso Sloan, who wrote the autobiography of David Blaine and Howard Stern, and recently wrote The Secret Life of Houdini book. And so this is a seance to try and bring back Houdini.
Well, that's an annual event, isn't it?
It's an annual event.
It hasn't succeeded yet that we know of.
Well, the very last one that Bess Houdini did on the top of the hotel, she said Houdini is not going to come back. But at that very moment, on that block and that block only, it burst into rain. And nowhere else did it rain in the city, but on that block. And
got a raised eyebrow out
got
of
a
me.
raised eyebrow, absolutely. And so many people have said that maybe that was contact from the other side.
Well, we'll find out on this Halloween, right?
We'll find out on this Halloween.
Now, we don't have all the time in the world left on our show today, so we were wondering if you would play some of the favorite music or some of the music that actually is part of your show.
Oh, I'd love to. That's a wonderful piece for me. But let me just say one more time, to come out on the 18th to Rhyolite, Nevada, to see Albert's Tarantella, it's $25 for several wonderful performers, musicians, magicians, mind readers, food, entertainment, and artwork.
And you have a link to that on your website, I would guess.
Absolutely, on mentalmysteries.com.
And it is, as you mentioned, a nonprofit. GoldwellMuseum.org will also get you all the information you need.
GoldwellMuseum.org or by calling 702-870-9946.
Paul Draper, I get the feeling you've done this before.
Well, it's sure a lot of fun to be on the radio with you, Nick.
Well, thank you. And you host your own show anyway on Friday nights and Saturday nights at the Palace Station. The Wonderground?
The Wonderground with Jeff McBride and other
What will they
magicians.
think of next? I do want to come see your show, and it has been a real pleasure meeting you, Paul.
It's been a pleasure meeting you and being on your show.
And have fun in Rhyolite. I don't think I'm going to make it there that night, but...
check out the website, mentalmysteries.com. There are a lot of shows coming up, public shows, including the Suncoast on November 6th.
And he's his own agent. Paul Draper. And Playing Favorites is produced and engineered by the lovely and talented Ginger Bruner. This is Nathan Tannenbaum inviting you to join us again next week at this same spot on your radio dial when we're Playing Favorites on KUNV.